I awake to the screams of a panicked woman. I can smell smoke and ash and something else. Something clean. The stark contrast is confusing my senses. My eyes flicker open just as I finally register what that clean smell is. It's the ocean. My heart begins to beat wildly out of control as I struggle to piece together my surroundings. I was laying in my dorm room bed when I dozed off not too long ago, and now warm sand sifts through my fingers as I scoop myself into a sitting position. Sand? Sand? Where am I? What the heck is going on? I sit in a stupor. The world around me is complete chaos. Men and women run screaming in all directions. The man nearest me yells, "Walt!" This snaps me out of my stupor, and I push my aching body to my feet, stumbling half-blind in the general direction of the screaming mob. Behind us, a massive whirling plane engine belches out thick black smoke and causes bursts of air to fling sand all over the place. I have to cover my eyes to keep from going blind. A nightmare. I'm having a nightmare. Which isn't really that big of a surprise. I was in the middle of a Lost rewatching marathon with a few girls from my university when I dozed off, so I suppose a Lost-themed nightmare was bound to happen. My foot gets caught on a chunk of debris, and I stumble forward onto my hands and knees. A strong pair of arms hoist me up. A man's voice is in my ear, yelling, "Get out of the way! Move!" I recognize the voice as Sawyer's. He gives me a strong shove, and I go sprawling out in the sand a few feet away. When I look back, I find a massive flaming hunk of metal where I had just been seconds before. Sawyer is nowhere to be found. Somehow I scrape and claw my way to the ocean, far away from the remains of Oceanic 815. A young woman is kneeling in the water near me, sobbing. I'm so exhausted that all I can manage to do is collapse in the sand, gasping and praying desperately that I wake up soon. When I do manage to wake up, the sun has disappeared. Someone has built a roaring fire and dragged me near it. I scoot away from its heat. That's when I notice that multiple fires have been lit all across the beach. People sit hunched over near the flames, talking quietly amongst themselves. My head is pounding with a furious intensity. What I wouldn't give for an aspirin. Well, the princess has awoken. I look up to find Sawyer standing over me with a lazy smirk on his lips. A lit cigarette hangs between two of his fingers. "Has the doc looked at your head yet?" he asks. I have no idea what he's talking about, and it's frustrating me. "Huh?" I grunt stupidly. Sawyer squats down and reaches for my forehead. A sharp pain suddenly runs through my skull, and I quickly pull away from his touch. "Ouch!" I yell. "Stop it! That hurts!" Sawyer stands and holds out his hands in surrender. "It's your head," he replies, and wanders off down the beach. I reach up and gently touch the spot where Sawyer did. When I pull my hand away, it's covered with blood. For the first time in a long time, I question myself for switching career goals. Why didn't I become an RN? I would know what to do right now. But no, I had to change my major to literature. I lay down in the sand and fight to keep the nausea at bay. A man's figure is suddenly standing over me, and in my delirium I think Sawyer has come back to take care of me. But it turns out the man is Jack. I want to ask so many questions, but my head injury has scrambled my brain. Besides, I'll be waking up soon, so what's the point? Before I doze off for a second time, I hear Sawyer's voice through the clouded fogginess of sleep. He came back after all. "Is she gonna be okay, Doc?" he asks. "I don't know," Jack answers. "I simply don't know." For my first time, I can't really say that was very bad. I hope you liked it. It is your story, The White Kitten. Please have liked it. That's all I can really say. Thank you for letting me read this. As long as you continue to write it, I will continue to read it. If you want me to, that is.